Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for our digital transformation series with IBM. I am Gary Cohen.
I'm Chris Favreau.
We're both with Control Engineering. In this video series, we'll be discussing many topics about digital transformation in manufacturing with IBM experts Surya, Vamsi, Miriyala, and Brett Hillhouse. Brett Hillhouse is the global automotive and aerospace leader for IBM sustainability software. His responsibility includes industry and technology strategy, as well as customer success for automotive companies around the world. His 25 plus years of industry experience includes transformation engagements at global automotive and aerospace OEMs and tier one suppliers. Surya Vamsi Miriyala is a go-to-market product manager for IBM Maximo with more than 7 years of experience in manufacturing, particularly within the automotive and food and beverage sectors. He spearheaded digital transformation projects for leading firms like Caterpillar and Coca-Cola, utilizing IIoT software such as PTC ThingWorx and IBM Maximo to advance connected factories, energy management, and predictive maintenance. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, Chris and Gary.
Hey guys, thank you for having us.
So in this video, we're going to talk about digital transformation's role in sustainability and how it's impacting ESG and other like-minded initiatives. So I guess we'll start with this, digital transformation and sustainability, how are they working together, and how is digital transformation helping companies be more sustainable and more eco-friendly? And what kind of expectations are your customers having when it comes to those two topics?
I think Surya will agree with me. I don't think we can do a project at a customer anymore on the shop floor that doesn't immediately have ESG goals as part of it. And just understanding even just energy usage or anything along those lines is part of almost every customer we're working with right now. And that does mean at least down into the mid-range as well, because it's flowing downstream, the need for ESG reporting. So it's become a much more sensitive topic, not just at the top at the tier ones and the OEMs, but down into the middle ground for sure as well. And I think as part of that, one tangible goal is just the reuse and repurposing of equipment. If you're a larger company, being able to understand that this particular type of unit could be used elsewhere. I don't have to go buy a new one. So it not only does it have huge cost savings, but this is part of the ESG thing. I mean, how am I disposing of or reusing some of this equipment? So that's a simple one that can be implemented fairly quickly. Some of the other ones are a little more complex, where you're really looking at optimization of the equipment you have on the floor, and how you can have less waste and lower cost of running the equipment.
Yep, completely agree with what Brett has said. And I would like to add few more pointers on the ESG front where, the organizations can focus. So not only SMB, not only the top tier, but even SMB can adopt the ESG, and they're actually pushing a lot towards, sticking to the objectives of the ESG. So for example, you can take reducing carbon footprint, how they can actually contribute it by avoiding, fugitive emissions like leaks. So by adapting to the digital transformation, you can actually detect avoidable leaks and stop it right at the source. You're contributing to the carbon footprint. That is one classic example which you can adapt and implement right away. And also they are focusing on, there are a few complex use cases like, scope 2 and scope 3 emissions, where they have to focus on renewables, which is done by top tier, but not much by the SMBs. So waste reduction is one good example, good metric which they track, as well as energy, water and raw materials utilization. The efficient utilization is the key here, because you're straight away impacting the environment and you're hitting the compliance of the standards within the industry.
So you touched a little bit on this in your last answer, but when it comes to sustainability, obviously IBM has its own goals. What are some of the priorities and goals that you're hearing from your customers and clients right now?
I think part of what we're hearing is there were often some lofty goals that were set without a lot of knowledge of what they actually had and what their ESG actual reporting should be today. So getting their arms still around accurate data is still a big step in their ESG initiatives. And then it's being able to, have that digital dashboard and understand what levers you have to pull on that. So carbon is certainly, a big one for everybody out there. And whether that is, doing, new sourcing of energy, or, replacing my propane driven forklifts with, battery powered ones with clean energy, those are simple things that can be done, but they're not real useful if you're not really measuring it. You don't really have the ability to have that digital dashboard and understand what progress am I making, and is my initial set of ESG goals, are they even achievable now? So I think just getting some reality into it is still just a big part of the goal out there.
Yes, definitely it's a big piece that has to be focused more, I would definitely say. So currently, most of the organizations in the SMBs are actually listing out, few initiatives. They are driving initiatives. That is, you cannot call it like a direct impact to ESG, or ESG is not a complete focus there. For example, they replace the lightings to LED. So LED lightings, is one source where you are hitting on the energy space. And apart from that, as Brett said, forklifts, electric vehicle EV forklifts, battery forklifts, I would say. So, hitting on these initiatives, they're actually taking still the baby steps, but the bigger picture is yet to come. There are a lot of big ESG goals that can be focused, targeted, and achieved by adopting the culture of digital transformation.
Are are there any other ways ESG initiatives are, being, I'm going to start over on this one. You've already touched on ESG a bit already. What other role are ESG initiatives currently playing in digital transformation?
Sure, you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I would like to give an example here. So if you see, we are talking about manual operations, records, and all those stuff, where most of the organizations are currently at. So if you see, only less than 30% of organizations have actually adopted the digital transformation. There is still a lot of potential or opportunity, I would say, for most of the organizations to adopt this culture. When you talk about ESG, when you avoid the paper in your shop floor, you're directly impacting, the ESG piece of your operations. So you're eliminating paper, which means you're indirectly reducing your scope 3 emissions. So, this is one example. And apart from that, uh, there is workplace safety through AI. You use robotics and AI, where you have some use cases where on the worker safety in your shop floor. And apart from that, emissions reporting and monitoring is another example where you can have a ESG initiative that will actually focus on what's currently happening and how you are moving towards your ESG goals by actually tracking and reporting some kinds of data that your assets are giving to you.
I think another area to look at is how this is coming from the product design area down to the actual manufacturing of the equipment. Large castings, something Tesla really brought to bear in the market, has changed things. Looking at, what are the abilities to recycle the product that I have engineered? If I am using a lot of adhesives, is that something that can be reversed? Or does that mean that, maybe bolting something together or riveting something together, or is a better technology in the long run? So people are looking at this, from a design and manufacturability perspective, right through to the recycling side of this, on how do they make sure that these products are going to be completely recyclable. So it's tying together the product side to the manufacturing, and that's been an interesting goal here. There's always been some level of linkage because you had to make it manufacturable, but certainly adding ESG as part of that is something that everybody's working on.
But thank you very much, Brett and Surya, for your insights today. That was great information. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, Control Eng TV, which has additional interviews with thought leaders and experts. You also can find a link to our control engineering website for additional content on digital transformation and other topics. I'm Chris Favreau.
I'm Gary Cohen.
Thanks for watching this video.